Good morning. Good morning, Diksha. Good morning, admin team. How are you guys?
Good morning, Naman. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, certainly. Yeah, I'm doing well. So I'm seeing that the participants are still joining. So let's just give some time to all the participants to join because this session, what we are bringing for everyone over here, the total intention is to fuel them to charge you guys uh, for next 2 weeks. Okay, because the reason why we come here every you can say bi-weekly because we just want to share some of the tips and tricks which can be really helpful when you start looking for a job or you want to look IT from outside. Okay, because I know that many of you are from non-IT space, but you don't know what's actually going on inside, right? So how many of you are actually from non-IT? Guys, can you just tell me in the chat, like how many of you are from non-IT but have have a big interest to get into IT? So how are you from non-IT? How many of you are from non-IT, everyone? Okay, so I'm seeing the responses from Morike, from Julian, Alchana, Richard, Basim, okay, Abdul. Great guys. I'm seeing these names. I'm hoping you guys remember me. Okay, I know I've spoken to so many of you already. Calvin is here, Carolyn. Hi Cedric. Thank you for joining, guys. Femi Williams is there. Yeah, she's starting on 15th, right? Pola Sade is here. Great guys. I think we have met a lot of time, isn't it? Watkins is here. So how are you, everyone? All good? Okay, yeah, I see so many familiar names. I'm sure that you guys are familiar with me as well. So Diksha, you know what? Like I have a habit and I have a habit that whenever I am sitting idle in office, I really dial in a lot of numbers just randomly and talk to students about their next steps and how are they doing in the class. And I think I'm making more friends, right? So I'm sorry, guys, if I'm irritating you on your regular day, but my total intention is to become your friend. Okay, great.
Well,
So
that's why you have created really great bonds with the students who have joined to make their career in IT, isn't it?
absolutely. I mean, that's my intention. At least a little experience what I carry, right? I got an opportunity to work for so many years in IT. And if anything, even a 5% of it can be passed to our students, I think that can be transforming. That can be really helpful, right? Oh, Oma is responding that I'm a friend. Yes, Oma, we are friends and we are meeting next month in Toronto. Okay, great. So thank you guys. I mean, we're just having this chat right now because we're just waiting for one more minute. Because we just want to give this time to the students to join because many of them are still waking up. I'm sure that people who are in California, it's quite early, isn't it? How many of you, I mean, do we have anyone here from California, from the west side, from anyone from BC, from Vancouver? Anyone? Okay, I think no one. Oh, New York. Great. Okay. So, uh, okay, great. So, guys, could you please let us know? Like, this is a quick check. Like, from which part of the country are you in? If you're in US or Canada, or if you are in UK. So, how many of you are outside US and Canada? How many of you? Okay, US. Very nice. Great, guys. So, I know it's morning in US and Canada, evening. It must be evening in UK. What about others? Do we have anyone from India or Africa? Anyone? Toronto. Okay, Hassan is from Toronto. Awesome. What about NYC? Morike? Great. Yeah, great. So, Diksha, we have so many US friends and so many Canadian friends. Okay, great.
Oh, definitely, yes. We do have a lot of people from different parts of the world, especially mainly we have a lot of people from US and Canada mostly.
Okay. Adekunle is in Nigeria right now. Okay, great. Have a good time, guys. Okay, so guys, there are important things what I want to share. before we start with this session. Okay. Definitely, Diksha is going to host us throughout the session, but I actually want to share some of the important updates with all of you. Uh, we're going to have the session where we are going to learn very important aspects of interview or preparing for the interview. Okay. So all of you who have been with us for a while, I want everyone to have your pen and paper ready because you might have to capture a lot of points what we are going to share with you. And as a tradition, we have a guest here, like a lady who has actually surprised us with her success. So she's going to be, sharing her thoughts with us, her story, and definitely we need that energy from her that how we can transform our lives. And then we'll definitely move on to a next part. So make sure that you are taking this session very seriously because there are some of the important things which you might be aware of. There are a few things which are quite obvious, but it is my job to also talk about some obvious things to remind you the importance of those points. Okay. So it's quite important that you stay with us till the end. We have a certificate of completion for everyone who has joined. Trust me, certificate shows that you are someone who are attending live webinars, live events, tech events, online, offline, doesn't matter, but certificates actually matters to everyone in the house here. Okay. No worries. Over to you, Diksha. I think everyone is ready. And let's just ask from everyone, Diksha, if everyone is ready. Guys, are you ready to start this session?
Yes,
Are you
everyone,
ready to
please
rock and
show
roll?
us your enthusiasm. So, are you ready to start with today's webinar session?
Guys, we need 100% participation. Please, no excuses this time. Okay. If you're driving, leave the steering, type, but no matter. Okay. So go ahead, Diksha.
All
Oh,
right, so without further ado, let's start with this session today. So, to the new joinees, hello everyone, welcome to our webinar where we embark on a journey of efficiency, collaboration, and innovation in the IT landscape. So, as you all know, that I'm Diksha, host of today's session. The session is tailored for IT professionals, job seekers, and industry enthusiasts looking to stay ahead in the rapidly evolving tech landscape. So, in today's competitive job market, acing an interview is crucial to securing your desired position. So, this webinar will provide you with the practical strategies, insider knowledge, and expert advice to help you stand out from the crowd, whether you are a recent graduate, a seasoned professional, or looking to switch careers. This session will offer valuable insights to enhance your interview performance. So, throughout the webinar, you'll have the opportunity to hear from our industry experts, gain new perspectives to ensure that you will leave this webinar with a deeper understanding. And also, please, I encourage to actively participate, ask questions, and feel free to drop your queries in the chat box because we want that you must show enthusiasm so that you can participate and you can gain a lot of new facts today in this webinar session. Okay, so now everyone, please let us know, are you ready for the riddle today? Please let us in the chat box because in every webinar session, we come up with some interesting riddles and definitely a wobble for sure. So are you ready? Sounds great.
okay. So let us see, Diksha, like how many people respond to us because we need the total riddle participation, guys. You know what happens that whenever we participate in the riddle, it means that we are totally open, our eyes, ears, everything. We're totally attentive. So that's why we keep riddle. So please, everyone, let's start and let's see. It's going to be very easy. Trust me. This time we have kept it very easy. I requested, I pleaded that let's keep the riddles very easy this time. I don't want people to feel confused. So that's why we are keeping it very, very simple. Okay. Okay. So Diksha, can I just take it or you want to take it?
Oh, sure, you can go ahead.
Okay. So the first one is you have to answer this. Who am I? I put you on the spot, but help you shine. I test your knowledge, but open doors. What is that? I put you on the spot, but help you shine. I test your knowledge, but also open doors. What is this, guys? We have only one response. What about others? Employer. Okay, Arshdeep. Anything else? What is this? Okay, there are like two words for this. I'm just making it difficult. Two words. What is that? Okay, someone is saying think loudly. Yes, we definitely help people shine. Thank you, Abdul. But what is that? That I put you on the spot, but help you shine. I test your knowledge, but open doors for you. Okay. People who said job interview, these are two words, job interview. So that is the right answer. Even the interview, job interview, or the job interview, all are the correct answers. Congratulations, guys. That's the right one. Okay. Robert is saying boss. Awesome. You are right. Boss is the right answer. Okay. The next one. I bridge the gap between development and operations, ensuring smooth workflow with minimal stops. Automation is my game. Collaboration is my key. Delivering value faster for all to see. What is it? Okay, Samuel Teta is responding with DevOps. Okay, what else? DevOps is the right answer, Samuel. Emmanuel. Okay, DevOps. Many responses for DevOps. Do we have anyone here who is learning DevOps with Think Loudly? DevOps. Okay, Richard is saying IT person. Not bad, Richard. Okay, it's certainly DevOps. Whenever you hear these two terms, development and ops, it is always DevOps. Just close your eyes and say DevOps. That's the answer. Good. Okay. Next one. Are you ready, everyone? I travel unseen through wires and air, seeking a weakness, a foothold to share. Once inside your system, I wreak havoc and pain, disrupting your data with a digital rain. Can anyone tell me? What is this? It's a little tricky this time. Let's see who answers this. I travel unseen through wires and air. What is this? Seeking. Okay, the answer is in two words. Okay, not just one. Seeking a weakness, a foothold to share. Once inside your system, I rack havoc and pain, disrupting your data with a digital rain. Oh, I okay. No, guys, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I know some of you are very close. Some of you are very close. If these are two words, let's see who answers. Okay, these are very close. Okay, anyone? Harshdeep, what about you? What do you think? What is it? Mark, virus. Okay, anyone? Very close, guys. Very close. Threat at actors. I mean, this time I think very good admins. Very good. Think loudly. I think people are actually confused about it. Okay, the answer is network attack. Okay, very close to cybersecurity attack or attack, a malware, very close to that, but it is network attack. Why? Because it's travel unseen. You never see it under wires or air. Okay, and it will disrupt your data. It disrupt your data. It's really a pain. Ask any cybersecurity engineer. It's really a pain. Whenever network attack happens, everything is gone. Okay, the next one. I travel at a speed of light but have no mass. I can be a curse or a blessing depending on the company I keep. Oh, what is this? I travel at the speed of light but have no mass. I can be curse or a blessing depending on the company I keep. What is it, guys? Any idea? Only two responses. What is it? This is again difficult. I travel at a speed of light but have no mass. I can be a curse or a blessing depending on the company I keep. Very nice. Oh, okay. I can give you one hint. Anyone? Like, do you need a hint? I just saw like two, three responses, correct responses. Anyone needs any hint here, or you don't need hint? Hint is that just like we have money, it's a currency of IT. It's a currency of IT. Can you imagine what is the most important thing in IT? What is it? Oh, this time, guys, I think who like you guys who is sleeping right now, you have woken up. Okay, great. What is it, guys? It's data. Everyone, it's data. Definitely, it's curse or blessing depending on the company. I travel at a speed of light. If I text you right now on your phone, you immediately receive it, right? So it is data. Okay, the answer is data. So thank you everyone who has responded with data. You guys are right. Was it difficult? Was it difficult, everyone? Do we have anyone here who is cursing our admin team? No. Okay. Just tricky. Correct, guys. I hope you guys are not cursing admin team, right? Okay, great, guys. I'm happy that you guys are not cursing them. They are very sweet. Trust me, admins are very sweet here. Sometimes they do some problems, but yes, they are sweet. Okay, I speak for you, but have no choice. I showcase your skills, but have no hands. I connect you to opportunities, but have no feet. What am I? I mean, this is simple, everyone. This is very simple. I speak for you, but have no voice. I showcase your skills, but have no hands. I connect you to opportunities, but have no feet. What am I? A lot of people are saying resume. Okay, let me tell you one thing. It's not resume. What else? I mean, it can be resume. Okay, anyone? Quickly, 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 everyone. What is it? Okay, it's LinkedIn. It's LinkedIn. You can say LinkedIn or your resume. So people who responded with resume or LinkedIn, you guys are right. Definitely, it speaks for you. It helps you to connect to opportunities. It is a platform which is considered. It's a number one platform across United States, Canada, UK, everywhere, where people are able to land a job. I know that LinkedIn is a bit crowded, but yes, it is still considered to be one of the best platform. Okay. Okay, so now let's just quickly talk about Think Loudly. I know that all of you already know Think Loudly, but it is very important for us that you understand Think Loudly in a different way. Okay, so how many of you, do we have anyone over here who is not learning from Think Loudly right now? Do we have any student who is not learning with Think Loudly? Okay. So guys, just to tell you about quickly about Think Loudly, we are really doing a very hard work. Trust me, we are working. I mean, look at our admins; they are handling 50 groups at a time. Look at our content team; they're building new resources for you. Look at the instructors, who are really putting a lot of pain. They wake up in the morning sometimes at 5:30, 4:30, depending on their time zones, right? So there is a lot of efforts. What the complete team is doing just to make one life successful, and this is what we have been working. I was in the interview this morning with one of the lady we're hiring in our team, and she asked me about Think Loudly, and I was telling her that at Think Loudly, money definitely comes next. Our main focus is we are going to succeed if we transform more and more lives. That is what we want to do. We'll help you with job and certification oriented trainings. We have all the training programs available. We are offering, I can proudly say that we are offering over 32 different programs and running them successfully. There can be some problems at times, but we are there to solve it because we have a team of 140 experts at this point of time. And even we are hiring more. Right now, you cannot find live projects everywhere, but we have designed the live projects on data analytics, on AWS, on cybersecurity, on DevOps. We have live projects, what we are trying to create on every part of the learning, because live projects, we have seen that it really adds a lot of experience to the resume. Then we do regular reminders. How many of you are happy? How many of you are happy about the reminders from the admin team? Do we have anyone who likes to be reminded? Anyone over here who receives the reminders from the admins? Guys, this is very important. Trust me. I know that at times you might feel a little irritated, but the whole idea is to make sure that the overall participation increases when you look at from the complete window. You are attending the training for 2 months. Imagine you are very tired after your work and you don't want to join the class because you're very tired. But sometimes what happens, when you receive a call from an admin, you feel that someone is actually calling you to call you to the class, then it becomes your responsibility to join the class. That is why we keep this regular reminders. We have hired people, trained people to call students and bring them into the class. Please don't get irritated if they are calling you. Please don't block them. They are human like us, right? So please cooperate with them. Regular reminders. I promise you, this is Naman's promise to everyone, that you guys are going to get the regular reminders. This will increase overall participation. Resume and LinkedIn. Guys, I know that I have, I don't know how many of you are there, but we have helped many people to build resumes. Guys, you build your resume yourself. You will see a true difference when we build your resume and you build your resume, because we are trying to bring a very important part to it. That is the keywords what we add to your your resume, and also we are trying to update your LinkedIn. Then we prepare for the interviews. People who have signed up for job seeker programs, you can always approach us to prepare for the mock interviews. Uh, it's a responsibility to make sure that you guys are ready to face the interviewer. You guys know what kind of a questions can be expected through the mock interviews. Okay, so this is what we offer. Think Cloudly, and I'm very proud of our admin team, and I'm sure that you guys are also. Over to you, Diksha. You can welcome our guest for today.
Sure. So, in the dynamic and ever changing field of IT, staying informed and gaining insights from experts is invaluable. So, that's why we're excited to bring your today's webinar featuring a leading voice in the industry. So, our guest speaker has not only made significant contribution in the security specialist, but also I'm truly honored to introduce our guest for today's webinar. Our guest, Ms. Rachel Agaro, who's a true luminary as a security specialist with a wealth of knowledge and experience. So her impressive achievement and contribution to the field have earned her a well-deserved reputation. So we are fortunate to have her to share her insights and valuable perspectives. So everyone, please welcome Rachel.
Okay, let me welcome Rachel first. Hi, Rachel. How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm good.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel, for giving us a sweet surprise last week. I was really, when received your message, I was like, wow, this is something which happened. Honestly, I was having a very bad week because of some things, but when you sent me a message, I really felt that, okay, there's something good happened. So first of all, congratulations. And this is truly your hard work. I don't want to take any credit. Think Loudly doesn't want to take any credit, but it is your success. And thank you so much. So here we have a lot of people joining here who really want to listen. What have you gone through? And we would like to welcome you as a guest today and as a success story. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. And yes, I do also want to give credit to Thinkcloudly. I would say this year has been it has been a surprising year for me. I got pregnant last year, so I have a
Wow.
baby who just celebrated his 1 year birthday
Wow.
this last week Saturday too. So many things happened to me. I lost my mom last year while I does give birth. So 3 months in, I needed to go back and start looking for jobs. So I did get a job with like a very tailored resume, but it was more of like a project management role, and it was kind of like a contract role. So I was in a kind of hot seat. I needed to get like certificates. I needed to prove myself like I am qualified to keep this job. But how can I get certificates? How can I do all these things while being a new mom and dealing with like the loss of my mom? So many things. I just did not have the time. So my friend recommended Thinkcloudly, which to me was a lifesaver. And Nama was able to put me through the courses. I also helped me to get my first certificate that I have in Canada, which is the PMP. That certificate alone got me like impressed my boss so much. I got transferred to like a permanent role in the company. So I became like a permanent staff and I was very happy. And it was a remote role too, but like I kept the job, but I also realized that project management in itself is kind of dicey. It's not 100% like the job security isn't the best, but like it's a good job. But I've always wanted to go into like IT because I felt like the jobs they pay so much well in IT. The jobs, there are more jobs. And as a mom, my preference is a remote role. So when I was thinking about all these things, I didn't know where to start, right? So I just asked Naman, like, what is the best thing I could do? And he recommended cybersecurity, which was cybersecurity. Well, between cybersecurity and AWS. And I chose cybersecurity because I've tried AWS in the past, and it was for me with the time that I had. I didn't have that much time to dedicate to learning so many things that you would need to learn for AWS. So I went to cybersecurity. I started the classes. At first, it was daunting. There were so many things I needed to learn, but the teachers were very, very helpful. Like they were so nice. They became like my friends. Like I just love everyone here, and they were able to teach me like everything that I would need to know, not just for like the job itself, but for like interviews, right? So I learned a lot. And once I felt like I was confident enough, they also helped me to get the certificate as well. So my first certificate was a CompTIA security. So that was the certificate. With that certificate, I was like, okay, now I can maybe start applying for jobs. But in terms of resume, like I didn't have the time to be like, oh, what kind of resume does a cybersecurity specialist need to have? Thankfully, they also helped me with that. Funny enough, I never used LinkedIn because I felt like LinkedIn wasn't really that useful to getting jobs. To be honest, I thought Indeed was my bread and butter. But since they already offered LinkedIn services, I was like, okay, why not? You guys can do my LinkedIn. And they set it up for me. They gave me the CV. And it's so funny how that particular LinkedIn profile, I applied for a job with that exact CV that they gave me. Sure, I did tailor it a little bit here and there. Was my first like call for an interview. And I was so like freaking out because I've never in my life done a technical interview before. And they did tell me that there was going to be a technical interview. And I was like, okay, so it's over. How am I going to get this job? But luckily enough, I was still like doing the courses. So I finished the first course and I did a second course, which is more advanced. And I had a very great, like very good instructor. So while I was going through this interview process, I went to him and I was like, this is the job. This is the job description. I don't know that much in terms of like technical stuff. What can I do? Like, how can I scale through? And he just kept sending me like materials, everything I needed to read up on. I took every single thing. Like if at first it might feel like information overload, but I don't look at it that way. Sure, I may not have the time to go through each and every one of this stuff, but I will take it for now. And then when I have the time, I'll go through, I'll skim through it. And then that's what I was doing. I had like 5 days to prepare. So all the materials he gave me, I took it. And when I felt like, okay, it is kind of getting close, I used ChatGPT to say the truth. I used ChatGPT to kind of take everything that he has given me to kind of like ask it now tailor questions for me with all these materials with so I used ChatGPT out to help me because I already knew what I wanted. So it just helped me to the finish line in getting more detailed questions that I needed to prepare for. And also in terms of the interview process as well, just being able to have someone there to tell me what I needed to hear. And a lot of the things he said to me was literally what I spat out in the interview. And the thing about interviews are when you feel like you are prepared, you are not scared. Because interviews for me, why people fail them is that they get so much in their head that they don't give up this feeling that they are experts. Like when you're in an interview and you're not like smiling, you're not confident, you're not laughing, you're not like talking to them and having eye contact, they would feel like you are yourself, you're okay, but you're not really the best at what you do. So having already been prepared by like my instructor at Thinkcloudly, I focus more about my personality during the interview. I was more vocal. I was able to look at them, make small jokes, show them that I might not know this particular question because I did miss like maybe 3 questions, but just the vibe of the interview was enough for them to give me a third call. And that third call, all the questions I filled in the second interview process, that was the last interview process. They said it was just going to be like, vibe check, like meeting the whole team. But I knew that they will tell you that that's what it is, but they would still ask you technical questions. Funny enough, that last interview, they asked me all the questions I filled again. And I was so happy that I've already gone back to my instructor and he has already given me tips on how I could have answered it better. So I was already prepared. So being prepared, I was able to smile. I was able to be more confident. And then when they felt like, yeah, this confidence, this girl knows what she's talking about, I was able to like get the job. And I do owe it a lot to the team because they've been my best friends. They've been there throughout the way. And honestly, when it even comes to like those leaving Thinkcloudly, it's not like even if I want to pay for like more courses, I'm paying for the courses just to like keep in touch, just to learn, get more certificates. Certificates are so helpful in the sense that just having that CompTIA Security Plus on my CV was the reason I was able to get a call. And then when you see other jobs, like for some reason for tech companies having C-risk, CISA, they are like gateways into getting a call. They are not like the be all and buy all, but like once you have them, then you get a call. And once you get a call, that is where it's giving you the chance to shine. Everything that you've learned, now you need to put it all into your heart, but you need to exude confidence. You need to talk clearly, smile, look at them, and be very relaxed. Like you cannot be stressed in an interview because they will feel it. You don't have to answer all the questions at once, but even if you don't say the right thing, just focus on the ones that you knew very well. Talk very lengthy about it, like talk well, like give them examples, analogies, so that they know that you know what you know. You don't have to know everything, but you should know what it is that you say you do. And that was basically my experience getting this job. And I'll be starting it in July 15th. I'll definitely be keeping in touch with Naman just to have like tips here and there.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. This is something I think you have already given a lot of tips. I don't think so that I'll be able to drive this session anymore.
Uh,
Awesome. But certainly you said right. I mean, some of the points what I'm going to talk about in coming slides, definitely you have spoken about, and I'm very thankful to you that you have spoken about it because you have gone through the process. And if someone who has gone through the process and say that, I think that is most trustworthy. So thank you so much, Rachel. Rachel, a few questions what I would like to ask on behalf of my team, that were you already from a secure IT security background, or were you completely new to IT security? And then how did you do it? Like you told me that how did you do it, but were you really from an IT security background, or were you from
no.
someone else, like somewhere else?
I was not from an IT security background. I'm from Nigeria, first things first. And I came into Canada with just a bachelor's in accounting. That is all I have when I landed in this country, was a bachelor's in accounting. And my
Wow.
husband helped me to get like an entry level role. How much was he paying me? 45 was the total like compensation, 45,000 as a financial analyst. Obviously, they were looking for people that are very desperate because the income was so low, right? Take home was like maybe 30K. But I
Wow.
took that one first and had that on my CV. That is all I had on my CV and my bachelor's in accounting. And for some reason, I was able to like see one PM role it was a PM role, but it was in disguise of a financial analyst, and it was a contract role. Contract role were obviously easier to get. And I got it, and they were never planning on keeping me. That is the truth, right? Because I
Okay.
was just yet to help them cover a maternity contract. But then my friend introduced me to Thinkcloudly, and that gave me the PMP certificate. And they were like, so you do have the skill set that we might need. And with that, I was able to think, oh, Thinkcloudly is actually amazing, right? Because now I could get certificates and get skill sets that companies are looking for. Because in Canada, truthfully speaking, having a university degree in this country isn't like that's crazy. The job I have now, if I can share my resume, my bachelor's in accounting is still there. I left it there, but I didn't talk about it during the interview. I spoke about the CompTIA that I have. And obviously, I didn't really literally say I had a financial analyst background. I obviously just put in there that it's the same company I worked at, but I put in there that I was like an entry level like information person, securities person. So
Wow,
that is a
that
good
is so impressive, Rachel, that even right now you have not hidden that you come from a bachelor's of accounting. You're just keeping that as it is. I mean, that is so impressive that you are keeping it very open. But just because you could able to get those certificates, I think that is covering up on your education, right?
Yes, it's covered because in Canada, I think it's everywhere in a lot of countries, right? They prefer like technical skills than just that you went to university and you have a bachelor's in computer science. Sure, it will help you, but I have a friend that's a bachelor's in computer science now in the UK, and she's still struggling to get jobs. And it's
Wow.
not I'm just trying to say, as for certificates that are well renowned, are literally so useful for you, especially when you're not coming from that background. Like you can have your bachelor's in accounting, you can keep it there, You don't need to hide it. You don't need to lie about that. You don't need to lie about most things. You just need to lie about the title that you have. And I don't think it's lying. Like if you've been trained for it specifically and you know that you have the skill set and you know what's like you will be good at the job. So I don't think like there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, you know what, Rachel? Some of our students in audience, they are thinking that they are listening to some melody song. Like one of the person is saying, "Keep going, don't stop." So
Yeah.
I think they are liking your story, isn't it,
Yeah.
everyone? Are you enjoying what Rachel is sharing with us? Do we have
So
anyone who is liking it?
So
Okay,
there was one question that I asked for the CompTIA. The CompTIA I got was the CompTIA Security Plus. And what I'm planning on getting next is the CISA and C-Risk.
awesome. Yes, don't worry. I mean, Rachel,
Yeah.
we are together in this journey for sure.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you know, yeah. Thank you so much, Nama, for everything, by the way. It's been really fun to be involved with Thinkcloudly. It's been a nice experience to have a group of people that will be there to support me. And
Yeah,
going forward, I do my husband wants to get those certificates from you too, so he can also like make his resume more on point.
definitely,
So
definitely. Always welcome, Rachel. Thank you so much, Rachel. I know that we have a lot of questions, just we are running out of time, but I'm very sure that you are going to have a beautiful journey in IT, and certainly we provide job supports and many other services by which we can always stay in touch. I'm sure that many of our students who have heard you, they are inspired. They have the motivation now to drive it until they find the job just like you. If
yeah,
someone thinks that Canadian market is struggling market, I think Rachel has proven it wrong. I mean, she is
yeah,
the living example that how she actually did it. I mean, one main thing what she told us that it's all about the interview positive vibe, what you have to keep maintained during your interview. And I think that is the main thing what even everyone wants to have in you. So thank you so much, Rachel. We have list of questions, but right now we are running out of time. But thank
all
you so
right, no,
much. Yeah, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. And all the very best to this journey. And I think you're in Toronto, right?
yes, I'm in Newton. And
Okay.
I
Good.
mean, if I'll just answer the last question, it's not that they didn't ask for the educational background, is that I started off and told them who I was. Like once they give you the opportunity to talk about yourself, you take it and you run with it and you give them a lot of amazing information that they will not need to ask you for your educational background. So that's that first part of the interview where they ask for yourself, you just need to nail it.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rachel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your
All
presence.
right, no
Thank you.
problem. Bye.
Guys, can we congratulate Rachel once again? Because it's not an easy journey what she has been to, and but she has proven that it is possible. So can we just say all the best and congratulations, please, guys, to Rachel? I
All
think
right.
yeah. So there are some messages for you, Rachel, in the chat box. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
So
Okay.
right, then. Bye bye,
congratulations,
Naman.
Rachel. And I heard a saying that success is not an accident, it's a hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. And I do believe that you have paved your way towards success. So once again, thank you so much. It was really inspiring and was really appreciable for boosting up our audience. And thanks for your precious time. And once again, congratulations.
All right, then. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Rachel. Thank you. Okay, guys. So how many of you are feeling little charged? Are you charged now? Do we have 100% battery in ourselves? I have it for sure. Okay, great. Now, these are some of the other students, Mr. Patrick and Victor, who also landed the job this week. I mean, this was quite an interesting week. People who landed the job recently. We are definitely calling Victor and Patrick in our next webinars. So, guys, please do join to hear their journey in the cloud in different parts. They have landed the job. So, we'll definitely hear from them in upcoming webinars. Okay, guys, so this is for everyone. Are you excited to learn new interview tips and tricks? How many of you how many of you are planning to get into the interview in next 2 months? How many? How many of you are planning to get into the interview in next 2 to 3 months? Do we have anyone here? Or is there anyone who is looking for a job right now? Do we have anyone here? Okay, like a lot of people. I think this session is going to be very interesting for you. I need full attention. So I see Abdul Latif, Abimbola, Adebola, Adekunle, everyone, please participate. Amanda, great. Anyone who is excited to learn new interview tips and tricks? Anyone who is here? Okay, only few responses. What about others? We have Christopher, Chaidu, Carolyn. Guys, please respond. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be very pushy, but I just want to wake you up from sleep if you are sleeping. Okay, great. Let's get started, everyone. So make sure that I told you, everyone, that please keep your pen and paper ready. It's very important. Please keep your pen and paper ready because you have to write down a lot of tips and tricks. I'm telling you, if you just listen to it and you go back home, you'll forget. It's better that you write everything, whatever we cover, because this is going to be very helpful. I have experienced it myself. I have recommended to a lot of students, including Rishil, right? So all of you who basically are going to attend this, it's going to be very helpful. The first thing is, whenever you are going for any interview, guys, any interview, the very first thing is, let's say that you are receiving one email and it says that schedule your interview. Okay, let's say that you are receiving an email to schedule an interview with the interviewer. Okay. Always, okay, let me first talk about, let me one moment. Yeah. Let me first talk about the regular interview process. Okay, so that people who are getting into the interviews, it's going to be very helpful. Always remember, first of all, the very first step is that you apply for a job, right? Then, if your profile gets shortlisted, you receive an email. Okay, you receive an email that your profile has been shortlisted. Please respond to it if interested. After that, you are going to receive one call from the recruiter and it is going to be an screening call. Okay. Now, post that, after screening call, you'll get into a technical interview round. This is going to be the actual round. And then you're going to basically get into one last round, which is going to be an hiring manager round. In some organization, this can be into two parts. It can be two interviews rounds, two technical interviews, or in some organization, it can be only one. If you are lucky enough, you'll go only for one. But sometimes if they're confused about the profile, they can also have two technical interviews. So if you're not lucky, you'll go for two interviews. But if you're lucky enough, you'll go into one. This is the most general process of an interview. So first you apply. Can anyone tell me, like, how many jobs should you apply every day? Any number? I just need the practical number. How many of you how many of you think that we should apply multiple jobs? And what is that number we should apply every day? 100? Abdul, no, it's not a practical number. You cannot apply 100 jobs. I'm not talking about easy apply jobs. 4 times a day? No. So at least minimum you have to apply 20 jobs a day if you really want to see the result. That's number one tip. Okay. That you have to apply 20 jobs minimum per day when you are in a job market. Okay. That's and you can find plenty of jobs online. So finding a job is not a problem. So how many jobs, guys, you're going to apply? 20. Is that okay, everyone? After that, there will be many rejection emails what you will receive. It's okay, it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to receive rejection emails. That is not a problem. Out of 20, out of 20, it may happen that all 20 are going to be rejected. And you know what? That is totally acceptable. There is no problem to it. Maybe that day didn't work well, but the next day again, when you apply, it may work. So receiving rejections is quite normal. I receive these lot of texts every day. Hey Naman, I'm receiving rejection emails. What should I do? Hey Naman, I'm receiving a lot of rejection emails. Rejection emails are common. These emails are common. So don't worry about it at all. Does that make sense, everyone? Make sure that rejection you don't pay attention to rejections. Just focus and keep yourself motivated by applying 20 jobs a day. Then you'll get into a screening call. When you get into a screening call, right? Now you need to make sure that you are good with resume. On a screening call, they're not going to ask anything outside your resume. So whenever they are going to call you for a screening call is just about to know, like just to know about yourself. So whatever is written in your resume, they just want to listen from you whether you have actually worked or not. So the recruiter is going to call you, or recruiter is going to set up a meeting with you for 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. And in that, you just have to talk about your resume. That is all. Don't go outside your resume. If you know something, tell them. If you don't know something, don't tell them. Don't even talk about it. So let's say uh, there's a guy who doesn't know what is Node.js. And if recruiter says, do you have experience with Node.js? Don't make a mistake of saying yes. Don't say yes. If this Node.js is part of your resume, say yes. If it is not part of your resume, don't say yes. Okay. So the real hack of any screening round is that you are going to master your own resume. Okay. So can anyone tell me, like, if a recruiter is going to call you for screening, what are you going to master? Guys, please. What are you going to master if any recruiter is going to call you? Your resume. Okay. This is something what you have to keep in mind. Don't cross your resume. Sometimes just to impress the recruiter, you say a lot of different things and then it becomes a trouble for you. Don't do that. Okay. So now after screening, in the screening round, we'll go through the resume. This is the trip here. Now the next tip is when you are entering in the interview, let's imagine that interviewer wants to meet you and want to have 1 hour of technical round, right? So whenever your technical round interview is scheduled, make sure that you're going through your job description very well. This is the key here. Okay. This is the key here. What does it mean? Let's look at it together. Just a moment. Let's look at it. So basically, let's imagine this is one of the job description what we have kept here. So you have to consider these bullet points as checklist. Go through this, whether you know this or not, what is written over here. Go through the second point, whether you know what is cloud and virtualization technologies. Go through this, go through that. So you have to take every checkpoint before you actually get into a real interview. If it is cloud engineer role or cybersecurity or project management, make sure that you're well aware of these job description points. You have to study every point mentioned. Let's imagine if you have heard something called as XYZ, but you're not aware of what is this in real. In that case, make sure that you go to YouTube and study about it. Go to YouTube or any different platform or come to Thinkcloudly. We are going to prepare you for this. Okay. So make sure that every bullet point is actually ticked. Okay. You're well aware that how are you going to, how are you going to uh, study about it. So you have to go through the job description very well. Generally, what people do, they basically do not go through a job description very well. There are some keywords which they are not aware. They don't bother themselves of reading about it. And that is the main mistake. If this job description focuses on something which you don't know, reading about it for 5 minutes, let's say something says Jenkins and you're not aware about Jenkins, go to YouTube and just watch a video for 5 minutes. At least get an idea what is this. If you do this part right, you'll have some confidence to talk about in your next interview. You can always say that I know about it, but I have never worked on it. So that will set an impression that this person understands things, but he never got opportunity to work on it. Okay. So the very first thing is go through your job description and study every point mentioned. Every point becomes your checklist, and you are ticking every point before you actually stepping in any job interview. Is that okay, everyone? Are you going to go through your job description and study every point before your next interview whenever it is going to be scheduled? Only two, yes. What about others? Only five? We have hundreds of people here, only seven, eight, nine. What about others, everyone? Great. Thank you. Now, moving. So have you noted down this point? Please note this point down. I know that this can be obvious point for some of you. It's not about being obvious. It's about that whether I remember this point before my next interview or not. Okay. So please note it down. I know that I'm going to talk about some of the obvious things, but I don't care. I want to make sure that this is going to become your bullet point before your next job interview. Now, the next thing is understanding the interview experiences. This is very important. See, I know that the process is going to be same. What does process says? Apply, uh, get the call from the basically screening round, then the technical interview, then the hiring manager interview, right? So you're going to have this process. Process is same. Process is going to be same for everyone over here. Whether you go for project management jobs, whether you go for Scrum Master job, whether you go for cybersecurity, cloud, DevOps, you go for any job, the process is going to remain same. I'm not talking about, when I say interview experience, I'm not talking about the process at all. Process is going to be same. So don't get confused with process and interview experience. These are two different things. Okay. So what is the interview experiences? See, on Google, there are many interview experiences videos available. You know, for example, let's say you are going for DevOps job interview. So what you can do on Google, you can search the interview experience videos on DevOps engineer role. Generally, people make this mistake. They get an opportunity for an interview, but they don't study well. They don't do their homework well. So this is going to be part of your homework. You have to go through for that interview experience. If you are able to get the interview experience for the same organization, that is really good. But if you are not going to get for the same organization, at least get on the same role. So let's say you have applied for a cloud architect role and you have your interview in next 2 days. So make sure that you are going to go to Google, and once you go to Google, search for interview experiences. There'll be multiple websites you can find. There can be multiple videos on YouTube you can find which talks about the interview experiences. You know what? This second step is considered to be the head start for your interview. You will not be blind anymore. When you step into the interview, you're not going to be blind anymore. You would know that, okay, I'm going as GRC analyst interview, or I'm going in cybersecurity interview. At least I have to talk about these things. So interview experience is going to be the head start for that particular interview. And when you go into the interview, you will not sound that, oh, you're attending the interview very first time, right? So that is why getting this interview experiences is very important. There are some interview experiences you can find at Thinkcloudly as well, if in case you are interested, but there are plenty of interview experiences you can find online. Is that okay, everyone? Have you noted this point that you're going to experience, you're going to go through some interview experience videos on the internet so that you are able to understand before you actually step into the interview. Does that make sense, everyone? Only two people? Great. Now, the third and very important point which I consider here is practice articulating the sentences. Okay. So let's say, you have to talk about something. You are trying to answer about something. Okay. there are two ways of answering something. One is that you talk about it in a very plain English. Okay, it's in a plain English. Okay. And the other way is that you talk in plain English, but combine with IT terminologies. There's a lot of difference about it. Trust me, it's a big difference. Okay. So for example, if someone says, you know, I deployed the website, I deployed the website on the machine. Okay. Or someone say that someone says, I was using CI/CD pipeline, CI/CD pipeline with the help of a Jenkins tool, which was deploying my website on the servers which are in cloud. So saying it very with a plain English that I deployed my website on the machine, or should I say this, I used to deploy my application with the help of CI/CD pipelines in Jenkins on the servers which were in the cloud. So look at the keywords. This is one keyword. Then the other keyword is Jenkins, then servers, then cloud. So now you're mentioning 4 different keywords within your answer. This is what we are talking about, articulating your sentences properly. This is what you have to practice. A lot of people, they don't do. They just want to respond in plain English. Guys, IT is all about how well are you aware of these terminologies. You know, I remember my own time when I started looking for a job, someone suggested me like someone suggested me this thing. So I created a list of terminologies of 100 terminologies which are quite focused on IT. So whatever a new word I hear for IT, right? I used to write in that notebook. And when I used to write that word in the notebook, right? I used to practice that, okay, if this comes up, I should be using this. If you use these terminologies, not just in the interview, but when you start working, you can set an impression that this guy actually knows the work. And third thing, what it really helps, when someone is talking to you in that particular terminology, right, you will be able to understand them. I remember once when I first stepped into my first meeting with my client, he was talking about something called patching. Unfortunately, this patching word was not present in my hundreds words terminology dictionary. And I could never understand him that what is the meaning of patching. And that actually set a wrong impression that this person who is coming from a non-IT to IT, or he's landing his first job, but still he doesn't know what is patching, what is software patching, right? So the one important thing is that create your own dictionary of IT terminologies. Try to fit those terminologies in your sentences so that you know how to articulate the sentences with right keywords and terminologies. And definitely, one problem we all have, I know that we like many of you, when many of you have accents. Do you have accent or not? Do we have anyone in the house right now who has the accent here? Do we have do we have anyone here? Now that becomes the main difficulty. I, Even I have my accent. A lot of people, Morike has a French accent, I know. Other people have a lot of accents, right? That actually becomes a pain here. You know why? Because when we say something, the word doesn't come out so naturally. It comes just like as if I am speaking my own language, right? So keeping your accent neutral becomes very important. It's okay if you don't know British accent. It's okay if you don't know American accent, but it is quite okay that you talk about that keyword properly. Like CI/CD pipeline should be CI/CD pipeline. If it is DevOps, it should be DevOps, right? If it is cloud, it should be cloud. Some people says OFS. Like I was taking one of the interview and he said I'm familiar with Offs Cloud. I was like, which cloud are you familiar with? He said Offs. What is this Offs? Then I tried understanding he's talking about AWS. Isn't it funny? So now you should know, how are you going to read this? Are you going to read this Offs, or are you going to say AWS? This is the clear mistake what we do. And when we come from a non-IT, right, it really becomes that difficult. So make sure people who are actually coming from non-IT, that your keywords and terminologies actually helps to set a right impression. So make sure that you practice articulating your sentences properly, add your key terminologies, and keep your accent neutral. Is that okay, everyone? Have you noted this point down? Do you think that this is really important? How many of you think that this can be a bigger problem and this can really help if you practice properly? How many of you think? Right? So make sure that our accent doesn't come in our success, in our way to success. Have you noted down, everyone? Please note it down, guys. Okay. We may not get a chance to meet again the way we have right now, the forum right now. We might not get the chance to meet again and talk about the same thing. That's why it's quite important that you note it down, because I want to just lock down this time and you know share something what I have faced myself in life, which can really help you sometime in future. Okay. The fourth point is for everyone. Talk about something if you really know about it. This is very important, everyone. Do you remember what a guest Rachel said today? That she answered some of the question she didn't answer, right? And that's a quite important point. Sometimes, just to showcase our knowledge, we try to answer every question. But tell me one thing, is it important to answer all the questions? Like if interviewer is asking me 10 questions, should I answer all the 10 questions? What do you think, guys? Is it important that I answer all the questions? No, it is not important that you answer all the questions. Trust me. Okay. Answer 3 questions out of 10. And trust me, if you are able to set an impression, you will land a job. Interview, I always repeat this. I always say this to all our students whenever I talk to them. Interview is not about answering 10 out of 10 questions. Interview is all about whether you will be able to handle the job or not. For example, if someone says, hey, do you know about malware? And let's say I don't know about malware. So I would say, I never got a chance to come across this, but I'm open to learn. That gives an impression that this person, because in the last 5 years, he never got a chance to practice malware or go through malware. It is not his fault. And interviewers are also human. They understand this thing very clearly. So it is important that if you know it, say yes, I know, and answer that. If you don't know it, say sorry, I never got a chance to come across this, but I will definitely do my research on it after this interview. Leave a positive impression. Leave a positive impression. Because trust me, we are human, and unfortunately, it is not possible that we know everything. How many of you agree with me that we are human and we will never know everything? Do you agree with me? And the same thing is being agreed by the interviewers also, because they know that if you don't know something, it's okay, because you might not have gotten that exposure in the past. So that is okay. Okay. So talk about something if you really know. Don't give half answers. This is wrong. Don't give wrong answers if you don't know. I was talking to one of the lady yesterday. It was a session with one-to-one session I was attending with one lady, and I asked her, like, what is cloud? And I'm not sure if she's here right now. So she started saying something about cloud, and trust me, it was it was not making sense at all. It was zero. It was not making sense at all. You know, then I just stopped her. I said, it's okay if you don't know that. Tell that you don't know. There's nothing to say that I don't know cloud, you know. So this happened yesterday. And because as an interviewer, when someone says a wrong thing, in my opinion, that person doesn't know anything. If he is giving the wrong answer, it means that he can make me fool anytime by the wrong information. So that is why instead of relaying the wrong information, it is important that we stay quiet. Because if you say if you deliver wrong information, trust me, it means that you have already dig a hole for yourself, and now you're going to fall in it because you have set an impression that you don't know this. Am I right, everyone? So that's why half information or wrong information can be difficult. Talk about something if you really know it. Trust me, this is the key here. As an interviewer, I have taken so many interviews in the past. Trust me, every day I take a lot of interviews. Whenever I take interview, I want person to be truthful to me. I don't want someone who is basically taking me on a ferry wheel and I'm not able to get what he's trying to say. And he's not making sense at all. Okay. Have you noted down this? Please note it down this quickly. Okay. Moving on to the next part, which is very important. This was actually shared with me when, like, I think 15 years ago with one of my professor. Um, so I was actually going in one of the interview, and he said, Naman, make sure that whenever you answer something, combine that with some examples. Okay. So for example, let's say if I say what is cloud, and I say that the examples of the cloud is AWS, Azure, and GCP. Okay. So basically, whatever I just said, right? This is important. Like whatever I said before the example is very important. But examples will basically add the impression, will create the impression. Okay. So make sure whenever you are undergoing any program, even with Thinkcloudly, and you are trying to understand, let's say if someone says what is virus, talking about virus is good, but if you give a small example that this virus attack you know created a problem for our organization, and organization lost 3.5 million dollars. So if you're just combining with a scenario, or with an example, that definition will really be impressive, because interview is all about setting an impression. So whenever you are learning something, whenever you are creating the notes, right? You must be creating the notes while attending the program with Thinkcloudly, isn't it? So when you are attending any program, you're capturing any notes, make sure you are writing the scenarios and creating the diagrams. If you create the diagrams and if you combine it with example, the interviewer is going to say you are a right person to be hired. Okay, I like people when they give example, because I understand their understanding very well. Okay, so as an interviewer, I'm not talking from an instructor perspective. I'm talking from an interviewer perspective, that I like listening scenarios, because that helps me to understand whether this person understand the real problem or not. Okay, so combine answers with at least one scenario or example. Does that make sense, everyone? Are you going to do that? Okay, before I proceed further, I just want to ask everyone, are you guys having a good time right now? I mean, I hope I'm not giving you a boring session. How many of you are having a boring session here? Okay, Ivy is saying yes. Richard is saying yes. Guys, I'm just trying to, okay, Jennifer is saying yes. Okay, guys, I'm just trying to bring some information to all of you. Trust me, it's gonna be very valuable. You're going to say thank you to me later on when you land a job. I'm very sure. I'll wait for that. Thank you. Okay, the next an important tip, and I remember this tip honestly, guys. I suddenly remember this. Uh, I went for. Have you heard about an organization, Honeywell? Anyone? Does anyone? Uh, I was very, I was aspiring to work in Honeywell. I tell you about the interesting scenario what happened in my life. So I was working for one of the organization, and I planned that let's move on to other organization. They called me in the office, Honeywell people. They called me in the office and they started interviewing me. They told me about the project, that this project is basically going to be, this project is going to be on aircrafts. So basically, they were building some application for aircrafts. I don't know why I have a love with aircraft systems. So when they told me that, this aircraft system, we are building a website, we are building an application which is going to be used in aircrafts. So I was like I was very excited. Don't you think, guys, it's an exciting project to work for an application which is being used in aircraft today? And I was very happy about it, that I'll be part of this. Like, if I just crack this interview, I'm going to be part of the team which is building an application for aircraft. But you know what? He asked me a question, and that question I still remember. He asked me about my previous project, that how many how many weeks, how many, oh, okay, he asked me like, how many weeks for one sprint in my last job. Today, it's a quite basic question. They asked me how many weeks for one sprint in my previous project. They asked me a very simple question, that how many weeks for one sprint in my previous project. They were asking about my project. And you know what I ended up saying? I didn't know about Scrum Master at that time. It was actually a lot of years back. And I said 6 months. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I just lost it. Just because of this question, I lost my interview. Swear to the God, I'm not joking here. I'm not joking here. Trust me. And because they realized that this guy doesn't know what is Scrum Master, and he's answering the question. The same thing I'm trying to tell you, that if you really know the answer, tell them. If I didn't knew this answer, I would have said, sorry, I have never worked in Scrum Master. I have never worked in a Scrum Master role. I could have said that, straightforwardly. Why did I say 6 months just to answer the question? I just killed the opportunity for myself. And since that day, I just promised myself, when I came back home, I didn't realize that this was the question which I said wrong. And I did some Google, and I found, and I was like, and then I went for Scrum Master program as well. So then I realized that this is a small answer, but it has created a big problem. How many of you have attended the Scrum Master and you think this is the wrong answer? Do we have anyone here who thinks this is the wrong answer? But I tell you, this is the wrong answer. And I actually killed that opportunity myself. Okay. It, so Ivy, it's not about failing one answer or one question. It's just that I didn't give the right impression. I answered 10 questions right, but just because it was so obvious wrong answer, that they realized that this guy can make us fool at later point of time. He was quite a senior guy who was asking me. Okay. So that went so bad. That is why I always tell everyone that, because right now in IT, everyone is actually like every project, whether it's cybersecurity project, DevOps project, app development, project management, every project what is running today, right? That requires Scrum. This is so mandate right now. Every project is following the Scrum Master methodologies, which is agile methodology. So adding Scrum knowledge to your resume and knowing how the IT functions is very important, because you cannot be wrong on something, because you guys come from a non-IT background, right? Most of you, 90% over here, you guys are coming from non-IT background. You cannot be wrong, because in your resume you are mentioning that you have worked for 2 years, and you are being wrong on some basic things, right? So make sure that you need to know Scrum Master. Earlier, Scrum Master was not a very popular model of work, but right now, you know, Scrum Master is getting very popular. At least 90%. I have seen all my life, like since like 5, 6 years, 7 years now. I've seen Scrum Master is so common now. Okay, waterfall model or some other models were being used, and organizations are discarding those models now. They are moving into Scrum Master. They have to move on Scrum Master because it has got its own benefits. So everyone try to get some Scrum knowledge as well, because that defines how the project functions, and you cannot be wrong with something what you use every day. Does that make sense, if everyone? Is everyone okay with the information what I'm sharing here? Okay, cool. Now, guys, this is something what I want to bring here is the mock interview. You have to schedule mock interview with experts and secure right interview resources. One thing I told you, that you have to go through interview experiences. That's going to be very important. But mock interviews can be scheduled with your friends, not necessarily with Think Loudly, but some of your friends who can basically take some of your interview, can ask questions, can ask random questions, right? So you can schedule mock interviews with your friends who are already in the industry. Okay. You can basically take helps from your classmates. Let's say you guys are in a group of 4 people. So one can become an interviewer and other guys can become the participants and the interviews, and you guys can basically start giving the interviews. So mock interviews can be done even in a friends group or your classmates. Okay, so that is also very important. And third, you can go for mock interviews with Think Loudly. So when I say mock interviews, one thing is that you attend one-on-one session with our expert, because this is going to increase your chances. One thing I liked about Rachel is that whenever she had her interview, she always approached us that, hey, Naman, I want one mock interview because I have an interview coming up. So we provided her one-on-one mock interview. And because of that, she was quite confident before she actually went into any interview. So this is for everyone over here, either friends, either classmates, or if you don't have anyone, go for one-on-one mock interview with Think Loudly. Let us prepare you for that particular interview which is coming up. It will increase your chances of having that job. Does that make sense, everyone? So mock interviews certainly helps. You can find multiple blogs out there with a lot of questions, which are basic questions. Make sure that you practice all of them. Okay. The next thing is the okay benefits of mock interview. This quickly, I just want to basically go through all of these. So first is like it builds your confidence, definitely. It identifies the weaknesses, things which are going wrong. It really identifies your weaknesses and refines the responses, adding the keywords and terminologies in your answers. So all these are the benefits of attending the mock interview, that you can build your confidence, you can, and also you can prepare yourself for unexpected scenarios. Maybe sometimes scenarios you might have not faced in the past. Maybe your friend can talk about those scenarios, or maybe your mock interview, the person who is conducting your mock interview can tell you about those scenarios. So you guys get a lot of unexpected scenarios which can really prepare you well. So going for mock interviews, first benefit is build your confidence, identify weaknesses, refine your responses, and prepares for unexpected scenarios. Okay. Okay, according to surveys, 92% of our candidates feel that a mock interview is a must-have experience before giving the actual interview. This is a percentage. We did a survey with all the students who actually went for mock interview, and we found that out of 100 people, 92 said it's really important. Okay. One thing I forgot to tell you guys, just a moment. Yeah, one thing is, it's here. Basically, whenever like there are so many websites available. Okay, on the Google, on the internet, there are websites available which has lots of quizzes. If you even go for 100 quizzes, right, those are less. Can you imagine? So let's say you are preparing for Scrum Master job. Okay, and your interview is coming up. Find those website on the internet where you can practice quizzes. You know what, these quizzes has lot of questions, lot of scenarios, lot of information what you can capture just from quizzes. So these quizzes are not just games. Trust me, these quizzes are not just games. These quizzes are important to build the right information in you. Because when you get four options which are confusing and you find that one option is correct, then it really helps you to learn something pointed. Okay. So make sure that as many quizzes you can attend on the internet, those are less. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's over. Okay, yeah, we have a slide over here. So practice online available quizzes and get familiar with some latest information. Uh, there are some websites which talks about a lot of trends. Okay, so go through a lot of trends website. There are so many podcasts on Spotify available. I remember I used to go on a walk and running. I used to listen a lot of podcasts on AWS and Azure. That used to give me a lot of information that what services Azure is offering, and it is really helping. And there are a lot of trends what you should go through. There are so many websites available, so many applications are available which can send you notifications on what's going on in the market right now. And practice online available quizzes because that can enhance your skill. Okay. Post that, go through the notes and video lectures which you have attended in the past. So all the sessions what you attend with Thinkcloudly are recorded and you are going to have lifetime access. Okay. So make sure that you are going to have the notes and video lectures. You're going to, you know, have it with you. If you want to download them on your laptop or access them on the website or on the phone, because whenever you capture the notes, for example, if you have your interview coming up in next 2 days, you have to practice the notes because notes can give you a quick recap of all the attended classes. Going through the video lectures, like there can be like 40 hours of videos, right? Which is impossible to watch, right? There can be 40 hours of videos which are available. So before your interview, you cannot go through all the 40 hours of videos. In that case, notes are very important. So that is why on the go, capture as many notes as you can because notes becomes very handy. Right before you actually move into your interview, you can go through the notes and brush up your knowledge so that you're able to talk about that topic whenever interviewer asks you a question. So what do you think? Is it easy for everyone to go through like 40 hours of recording before your interview, or is it easy to go through the notes? What do you think? Notes, right? So make sure that you're going through all the notes and the video lectures are important. You can mark some video lectures. Okay, one more tip I want to share with everyone. Whenever you are creating the notes, right? In those notes, if you find something interesting, you can write the lecture name and the timestamp. Let's say 15 minutes, 20 seconds. If you mention that, right? So right before your interview, you can open that particular lecture with the name. You can go to the 15 minutes, 20 seconds of timestamp on the video, and you can start watching that for 5 minutes. Because attending 1 hour of video can be difficult. But if you have this timestamp written in your notes, right? Going back to 5 minutes video and listening it back can be really helpful. Are you getting my point, or is it like confusing? Is it really confusing what I'm trying to say here? Are you able to get my point, everyone? So make sure that, okay, let me repeat it for everyone here. Whenever you are creating your own notes while watching the videos, at that time, in your notes, mention the video name or the session number and the timestamp on which timestamp you found that information. What will happen? Let's say this notes is on malware, and we spoke about malware in 15th session. Okay, and at 10 minutes 45 seconds. So now what you can do, you can log into Thinkcloudly website. You can open the 15th session, go to 10 minutes 45 session and listen to that video for 5 minutes. It will basically brush up your information. Are you getting my point? So creating the notes in this format is the best tip, so that you are able to go through those sessions, because no one has time to go through 40 hours of videos, correct? Do we really have 40 hours of time to watch the videos again once the course is completed? Not everyone has it, right? So what is the best way to go through the videos? By creating these bookmarks in your notes. If you're able to create these bookmarks, trust me, you will be able to go through those before your interview. Do you think it is going to be helpful? Anyone here? Do you think it's going to be helpful? Okay. The last step, which I always tell this to everyone at Thinkcloudly, that explore medium.com. If anyone wants to buy medium.com subscription, you can. But you know what? Scenario based blogs, plenty of blogs are available on medium.com. I have myself went through so many blogs. For AWS people, go through their architecture, three tier architecture blogs. So all the scenario blogs are available on Medium. On Google, just type medium.com. On Google search, just type medium.com space and type your cybersecurity or whichever topic you want to search on. Medium will list down all the blogs which are written by expert. You know what? On Medium, you will never find some bad blogs. On Medium, it is always very resourceful, very helpful. So if you really need scenario based blogs, right? Because I'm sure that everyone who is here, you guys learn by experience, right? And if you want to learn by experience, right, go to medium.com and search for scenario based blogs. Read as many blogs as you can. Trust me, you'll be exploded with the knowledge, and it will be helpful, because when you step into the interview now you're not someone who is new what he's talking about, right? So make sure that you're reading scenario based blogs on medium.com.
Also, we have a policy of referring a friend. So maybe you want your kid to go for this, or maybe you want any of your friends, children, or anyone who's interested, not for only the code for kids, but maybe for the webinar offer, for the one which we're offering all kinds of IT programs. So if you have any of your friend, any relative, or anyone who's interested to enroll in any of our service or interested to go for any program, so kindly provide us with your information. So once you'll provide your information, you'll be getting $100 as a cashback. So the more individual you refer, so for each and every individual, you'll be getting $100 as a cashback. So let us know for sure.
You know what, Diksha, there are some students who are making $500 every month just by referring their 5 friends. And what
Oh,
helps,
that sounds great.
yeah, and what helps it helps think loudly a lot, as a family, it really helps a lot, because it's all about that we need more and more students to connect with Think Loudly, So it's a humble request from every one of you. We are not charging $2,000, $3,000 big money. We're just keeping our price very minimal, but the only support from the student can really help us to grow. So if anyone wants to refer your friends, we certainly have something for you that is $100. What we can offer you if you refer your one friend and he or she registers with us. Uh, it's not for just to make money, but also to help them to save their thousands of dollars instead of spending thousands of dollars somewhere else. If they come with Think Loudly, they can have those programs for less number of cost, and it can really help them. So if you have any friend who is interested, please refer them. Help Think Loudly to grow. It is the student who made this thing happen till here. Thank you so much, everyone.
Let's gear up yourself, because now we have came across with our quiz session. Congratulations to all to our top 3 winners for today's quiz. So kindly everyone congratulate them in the chat box.
Awesome. So don't forget to collect your certificate of participation this guys, but just make sure that you share this certificate of participation on your LinkedIn handle.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.